Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are going to talk about the three-legged stool that pretty much holds up the entire world of digital security. It's a really simple but super powerful idea that protects everything from your DMs to massive company networks, and it goes by a three-letter acronym, the CIA. So what is the cybersecurity CIA? Well, you can think of it as the absolute bedrock of information security. It's a model that's designed to guide pretty much every policy for keeping our digital lives safe and sound.
And just so we're all on the same page, no, we're not talking about spies and trench coats. In the world of cybersecurity, those letters mean something a little different, but, they're just as important when it comes to protecting secrets.
All right, so let's name the three legs of our security stool. They are confidentiality, which is all about keeping data secret; integrity, which makes sure that data is accurate and hasn't been messed with; and availability, which is all about making sure you can actually get to your data when you need it. Here's the thing, if any one of these pillars breaks, the whole system just topples over.
Okay, let's kick things off with that first pillar, confidentiality. This is really all about privacy. It's the principle that sensitive information should be kept secret and never, ever be seen by unauthorized people.
So what's the big problem that confidentiality is trying to solve? It's simple, really. How do we make absolutely sure that only the right people can see the right information? It's all about stopping data from falling into the wrong hands. We usually pull this off in two main ways. First up, you've got access control. Think of this like a bouncer at the door of a club. And second, there's encryption, which is basically like writing your message in a secret code that only you and your friend can understand.
Now, that access control piece actually has two parts. First, there's authentication. This is where the system asks, "Who are you?" You prove it with your password or maybe your Face ID, but once you're in, authorization kicks in and asks, "Okay, so what are you allowed to do?" It's like this: just because you have a key to the front door of an office building doesn't mean you have the key to the CEO's office.
The other half of this puzzle is encryption, and it's an amazing idea. You take regular, readable data, and you use a secret key to scramble it all up into something that looks like total nonsense. The only way to unscramble it is if you have the matching key.
And what this means is that even if a hacker manages to steal an encrypted file, it's completely useless to them. Without that key, it's just digital gibberish. That's how we can send sensitive information flying across the public internet and still keep it safe. Okay, so we've got our data locked down and secret. But can we trust it? Is it true? That brings us to our second pillar, integrity. This is all about making sure our data is consistent, accurate, and totally trustworthy, right from the moment it was created. Integrity is here to solve a really critical problem. How can you be 100% sure that the email you just got is the exact same one that your colleague sent? Or that the bank balance you see on your app hasn't been secretly tampered with? I really love this way of putting it. Integrity is what guarantees that a message is true to itself. What that really means is that if any change happens, whether it's on purpose or just an accident, that change is going to get noticed. Let's look at a quick example here. Imagine a company's order system has a record for 100 widgets. An attacker could try to sneak in and change that number to 400,000. It seems like a small change, but it could be absolutely catastrophic for the business. And this is exactly where integrity controls come into play. Using things like digital signatures, the system can instantly see that the data has been altered. It's basically like a digital tamper-proof seal on a bottle. You know right away if someone's messed with what's inside.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar, availability. This principle is all about making sure that systems and data are up and running for authorized users whenever they need them. I mean, what good is perfectly secret and trustworthy data if you can't even get to it, right? So, the big question for availability is, how do we keep our websites, our apps, and our networks online and working properly? It's all about defending against anything that might try to disrupt them or knock them offline. One of the most common threats to availability is something called a denial of service attack, or DOS attack. You can think of it as a digital traffic jam. An attacker just floods a server with so many requests that it gets totally overwhelmed and can't respond to real users anymore.
But a simple DOS attack has a much bigger, nastier sibling, the distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack. This is where, instead of just one computer, the attacker uses an army of thousands of hijacked computers, called a botnet, to launch that flood of traffic from all over the world, all at the same time.
The scale of a DDoS attack is just mind-blowing. It acts as a massive force multiplier, which can make the attack thousands of times more powerful and way, way harder to stop. It's really the difference between one person shouting at you and an entire football stadium shouting at you all at once. So there you have it: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But these aren't just some abstract concepts, right? They actually form a super practical checklist that you can use to think about the security of pretty much any system you interact with.
So when you boil it all down, the CIA Triad gives you a really powerful set of questions to ask. When you're using any app or website, just think, is this confidential? Can only the right people see this data? Does it have integrity? Can I trust that it hasn't been changed? And is it available? Can I get to it when I need to? If the answer is yes to all three, then you know that service is built on a strong security foundation.
And that's really it. That's the Cybersecurity CIA. From the lock symbol on your banking app to the reason your favorite streaming service doesn't crash during a huge movie premiere, these three pillars are always working behind the scenes. So next time you log into something, just think about it for a second. How is the CIA protecting you right now?